up, YouTube? It is Mr. Ferguson here once again. Thank you guys for coming back for another video here in Central North Carolina. It's my privilege and honor to be able to bring these lawn care videos to you. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you so much for all the likes, all the members, all the channel joining, all the super thanks. You guys are awesome. Couldn't have this channel without you. Thank you so much for following along on this lawn care journey. As I'm a DIYer here in North Carolina, showing you guys exactly what I do all the time with this cool season turf type tall fescue. We've done Jonathan Green, we've done GCI turf, which is what's behind me, cool blue, and a mix of turf type tall fescue seed back here. And then we did some triple threat here recently, which is what we're going to talk about today. Before we jump into the video though today, guys, I want to announce to you that we've scheduled and set, and we're going to try to do a live stream here from the house on Tuesday at 6:30. I've already set it up. It should be scheduled. If you go into videos, you should see it's scheduled Tuesday 6:30 live stream. This is not going to be a giveaway. It's not going to be something I even have topics for right now. I'm depending on you guys, number one, to show up. Number two, tell somebody, show up, say, hey, you like Mr. Ferguson? Yeah, he's going to do a live stream. Show up, man. Support him. Like the live stream. You know, let's get out there. But leave some comments in this video, whether it's about the topic we're going to talk about here in a second or about the live stream. Let me know some questions, and if you can't be there, let me know, hey, I can't be there, man, but here's some questions if you want to talk about it. Maybe I'll catch it later after the live stream is over. You guys probably already know this. I don't mean to insult your intelligence, but it should upload it as a video later on the channel for you to watch if you can't join at 6:30 Tuesday when it goes live. So hopefully you can be there when we go live, but if not, leave your comments, questions, thoughts. Maybe it's on the video, maybe it's something you've always been wondering. With that said, guys, just to recap briefly what we've been doing, today is 20 days, if I calculated and Siri told me right. It's been roughly 20 days since we've planted our triple threat / Jonathan Green Solar Green seed in our front lawn. We did all pre-emergent in the back and the sides. We're just going to talk about and review the front lawn today. So it's been 20 days. I'm going to give you the 20-day update on how this seed is doing. And I think you're going to be a little bit surprised. So just to give you a quick rundown of anybody that's not watched the previous videos, I don't want to make you go back and watch them all. We've only aerated and dethatched the lawn back to back Thursday and Friday, and the lawn really browned up, really took a hit, really began to look rough. We seeded, we put peat moss down, we did our humic coated urea 4400 from the Andersons. It's been looking fantastic. It began to grow. We kept water. Then we had Hurricane Ian show up in Florida, and then he makes an appearance up here in South Carolina, North Carolina. And before that, we put out a little bit more of the urea and was hitting it with a little more nitrogen. We did a RGS application. We put in there, I think, a little bit of humic. I dumped some of the rest of the fungicide I had, which is a small amount. Recently, after Ian, we just did a propiconazole treatment as well. But the hurricane rain, we got well over 3 inches, and it's just now getting dry enough to where we can even mow the lawn. So that's where we are. And I just want to turn the video around and show you guys where we are 20 days post seeding. Alright guys, so I've already filmed this video once, but I wanted to do it again when the lighting was a little bit better. The first thing that I wanted to mention to you guys and girls that have been coming back and watching the channel and watching the videos, the first thing you guys should notice from this picture that you're seeing is how much greener, how much healthier this lawn looks. The last time I think we did a review, it looked better. It looked worse than it does now, but it looked better than seeding day. Seeding day, if I have pictures, I'll throw them up here. It looked pretty rough. It was still rough about 2 weeks after that, and now it is really, with the hurricane natural rain, it's greened up. The yellowish has went away, the brownness has went away in most areas, and it's thick and it's lush, and the grass is super thick and long. And as you can see from just right here in front of me, we got a lot of moisture still on the grass, and so that's why I'm not out here mowing in the morning time. We want to let this definitely dry out some more. Man, we got tons of rain, and it can only absorb so much. So that's why. So it's looking very green. The color is awesome. As I walk around, this is that, as I was telling, I think, Mr. Kevin and Mr. Blake at my church, this is that time of year when our lawns, just the fescue cool season lawns, really begin to pop and just look spectacular with the color and the fertilizer we're giving it compared to people that are not fertilizing and taking care of their lawn. It's browning up, all those summer weeds are dying off, and there is just a huge difference in the color of our lawn versus their lawn. So that's the first thing is, man, the color is looking absolutely ridiculously awesome. Loving that urea nitrogen. So if we'll start back up here on the hill by the area that we talked about, we had debates about, and we discussed. Remember, guys, I redid this area, and it is, I'll just tell you straight up, I'm so glad I redid this area. I never had anything that looked similar to this, where we have lots of baby grass, lots of the triple threat popping up right here. It is coming in very nice, very good. That natural dirt helped a lot, and so everything is looking great here. It's just a matter of time of keeping it watered, keeping that seed wet. Everything there is looking great. It's growing in beautifully. The bank is looking really good. We do sometimes, like right here in front of me, we've got areas where I can tell we still, right there in the middle of the screen, if you can tell, we still have some Bermuda that is still around, and that's what down here is. It's long and it needs to be mowed, and I'm going to be mowing this today, and likely we'll do it again before the live stream Tuesday. There is a spot right here in the middle, you can probably see, where we're still dealing with the browning of Bermuda, and you may be seeing this in your lawn. We're getting 40s. We're going to have a 41-degree night here soon, but you can see some of this Bermuda is starting to go high, dormant and go away, and some of it could be what we killed with Fusilade. But there is baby grass all around. It's just one of those slower areas. Now, the other thing that I learned the first year, and I don't think this is what's happening here, is we have to be aware of grubs as well. The first year I planted, the very, very first year, never treated for grubs, didn't know what a grub was. I planted, and I had like these crop circles in my lawn, and it was over here on this side over here, and it was grubs chewing at my roots under the ground, and I would have like areas that were not growing as thick as others. It was way behind in the growth stage. That's not what's happening here, because these are Fusilade areas, and I believe it's just being slower in this area. So we'll let it come in, but do be aware that if you never treated for grubs, sometimes this time of year, I know here in North Carolina, I've seen, and I know for a fact it was grubs chewing on the roots, but that area did come in later on, and it was perfectly fine, and I don't think I ever treated for grubs because I didn't know to treat for grubs. Moving on the bank, everything's looking good. Here on the edges where we did peat moss, everything is growing in and looking mighty fine there. We've got baby grass everywhere. It's just a matter of, now that the Ian rain is kind of wearing off, we're trying to make sure that we're watering it and keeping it looking good and keeping it wet and moist and giving it the water it needs. So the ditch area we talked about, we've got, I'm not going to get down in there because it is still moist and it's a little mushy, but we do have grass germinating. I've got seed mixed in here. I'm not going to keep putting seed down every 4 days or anything like that. I'm just going to let it do its thing. I'm trying to wet it, let the seed that's there that's not germinate. But we do have splotches of baby grass here. It's just not growing in like I want. Likely when Ian came, definitely some of that seed and that peat moss got washed away, and it goes all the way down the woods to a creek down here. So this is the one area that it's like, okay, I need to keep my eyes on it, but I'm not super concerned. It's going to work out. It's going to be fine. But this is the area where, for me, this is the area I got to pay attention to. This is the area where later on we may need to throw some more seed down and just cover it up. And like we did, if you guys recall last year, we did this exact thing on the playset area last year. We threw some seed down in the winter time, came back, and boom, it popped up. It was perfectly fine. It was not ideal conditions for seed, but it grew in. So there is the ditch area. So moving out towards the back half of this section, man, this area is looking super good. All these little areas I put peat moss in where we had burned it with Fusilade, I can barely even, I have to really get over top of it now to see where those areas are. There's still baby grass, but it's blending in. It's beginning, all the baby grass is now at that stage where it's starting to blend in with the mature grass. Since we did that cut that last time, cut it all down to 3 inches. Now it's kind of growing in together. And man, the color, guys, if it's not showing it very well on screen, the color looks phenomenal. It's looking really, really, really good. Here's some of the baby grass, a section I purposefully torched with Fusilade because it was like Kentucky 31 grass, and there's still some of that around it on the backside. I'm not too concerned. We'll deal with that later, but there's some of the fresh baby triple threat grass there coming in, looking nice. Got some water on it. This whole section in the middle is doing well. The only concern area, and it's not even really a concern area, again, I'll put pictures up if I got them, but this back corner, you know, we stopped right here with dithiopyr. Everything back here is dithiopyr on this section, but everything right here around the generator and everything has really struggled as far as the dethatching and the aerating. You can tell if you've been watching the videos, it looks way better. Even in the shadow, I know the shadow kind of hurts a little bit, but it's looking way better. It is green, it is healthy, it is recovering. I believe the RGS application helped out when we did 5 ounces per thousand. That helped out. Of course, treating for fungus and preventatively and all that can only help, but it's just also the natural rain. That has to be the biggest factor that helped this section of the lawn, the natural rain. And we do still have Bermuda mixed in through here that's going to hibernate and go away. And like I said, the fight over Bermuda in my lawn is not yet over. And I know many people say, Mr. Ferguson, why don't you just surrender? And it's like, just be a Bermuda lawn. And it's like, never. It's like this, there's a fight in me. I don't want Bermuda to win. I know it's a fight, and it's going to be interesting. Fusilade is a very powerful product. Pylex may be what we look at next year. But with all that said, it's recovering. That natural rain from Ian really helped. And so we don't have this this browning or this really ugly looking section. Now we do have that. Let me go around this tree. We do have that still a little bit right here on this back side, right on the property line with my neighbors. We still have right here a little bit of the dead grass and stuff like that right there, but it's growing in, it's looking fine. But like when you look in a little closely, you can still see some of the Bermuda. It looks like it's Bermuda there that's going to be going dormant soon, but I mean, it's growing in. You can see all the little baby grasslets coming up and all that good stuff. So we want to, of course, as you guys know, all the vets know this, if you're new to lawn care, we want to mow as much as we can before and if my lawn goes dormant. I say if because here in North Carolina, sometimes our soil temperatures don't go very low. Sometimes we don't get very cold, and we can mow all year long. But we want, if you're up north, you want to mow your new lawn as much as you can before it really goes dormant, because it's going to drive those roots deeper. It's going to thicken up your lawn. It's going to be that much more mature by the time you get into spring, and come in spring, it's going to look even better. And so because it's got those thicker roots, that's why people say it's not wise to plant grass in spring, because you don't have the development time for the roots. That's why we planted this in fall. We want the roots to develop not only now through fall, but also through the early winter into winter, and then in spring we're that much ahead of the game as far as our roots in the soil. So all in all, you guys can see the color is fantastic. It's looking good. It's time to mow it again this afternoon, so I'll be doing that. And Tuesday, hopefully we'll have it looking sharp for you for the live stream. You know, one of the things I always think about is I want to do that Alan Hain thing where he lays in his grass and, you know, talks to you and all that, but it's so wet, I'm not going to do that. One day I'll do it. I copied Pete one time. Hey there, it's Steve, or hey there, it's Mr. Ferguson from Mr. Ferguson Lawn. Hope you guys are having a great day today. But anyways, so everything's doing well here, guys. The lawn's looking fantastic. Thank you for tuning in today. 20 days post-seeding, everything is coming in. We still got areas. It seems like every year we've got areas that want to give us a little bit of trouble. You know, we can't control the weather. We can't control the rain that comes and washes our seed away in certain areas and not others. So some sections are looking phenomenal. Some areas are recovering and beginning to look good, and some areas are way behind. So that's just how it is. We're going to watch it. The sunlight, the water, that's what it needs. And mowing to thicken it up is always a good thing as well. So thank you guys for tuning in today. I hope you'll be interested in the live stream, and we'll see how that goes as to if we do something like that in the future. And give me your ideas, your thoughts, your topics below. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you have. It helps us to be known and seen by other YouTubers out there, other people surfing the web looking for some entertainment. And so if you know somebody interested, they've just planted, they're like, oh, where am I? 20 days, is it supposed to look like this, supposed to look like that? This is what I'm looking like at 20 days. This is my mature grass, so you can't go off this. So we'll show that later on, but everything's looking pretty decent here. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope to see you Tuesday. God bless you. We'll see you next time.